That went a lot better than I was expecting it to. Hi, I'm Rex King, and today I'm talking about the movie White Bird. So, White Bird was directed by Mark Forrester. It has quite the release history. It was supposed to be released 2 years ago, and then it got pushed back. Then it got pushed back again. Then it got pushed back to 2023. Then the writer's strike happened, and then it was pushed back again. Needless to say, it was a long time coming for this one. Um, so basically the entire concept of Whitebird is it's a kind of sort of sequel to Wonder in the sense that it is a story of the grandmother of the Julian kid, who, if you don't remember from Wonder, is the jerk bully. And she tells him a story about her youth, where she was played by Ariella Glazer, and she was a Jewish person in Nazi-occupied France, and all the crap that happened there, and how she had to hide from the Nazis in a barn owned by the family of a kid played by Orlando Schwartert. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. And pretty much how, through his act of kindness, she was able to make it through the toughest of times. So this film is pretty simple. You kind of know where it's going as soon as the setup is there, and you kind of know what to expect. It's very predictable. I will say, however, that the execution of the story is pretty good for the most part. I really think that the pacing is right there, the tension is built correctly, and the sweet moments are legitimately sweet. However, the climax of the movie is very ill-contrived, and the film even acknowledges this, kind of, and I'm not even sure why they went this route. There were a couple other routes they could have gone. Now, I know this is based off a book like Wonder was, but I think a revision in the story here would have been for the best. And honestly, you could have lost the Wonder connection. You didn't really need this to be a story of a grandmother telling her grandkid this to try to teach him a lesson. You didn't really need that, and it doesn't really add anything to the film. And if you just focused on the story that she's telling, it's not a bad film at all, and I feel like it would have probably been shorter, but it would have been a lot better, honestly. The characters aren't bad. We're focusing on basically two central characters. Our main character, who is the girl who is just wanting to make it through this and is just kind of weathering the storm that is the Nazi occupation. And she finds solace in the kindness of others in this very dark time. Especially that in the kid played by Orlando Schwartert. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced that name. Who, for most of his life, he's had polio, he's been picked on, he has no reason to be kind to anyone, but he is the first person to really kind of show her an act of kindness that puts himself in danger and his family in danger. And his family goes out of their way to make her feel comfortable, not to make her feel like she's a burden. And I really like that. None of the characters are hateable. I really like them. And the characters we're supposed to hate are the Nazis, and it's the easiest thing in the world to make me hate a Nazi because, well, I automatically hate them from the get-go. So, yeah, I feel like this film did really well in that department. There were a few lines that were obviously eye-rolling cheesy, but honestly, it fits the movie that it's going for. The performances aren't bad at all. I really think that these two kids have a decent chemistry, and they play off each other quite well for the most part. The visuals, well, when they work, they're good. There are a couple scenes where they're fantasy scenes, and it uses kind of like a projector style imagery to really showcased these scenes, and I really felt that that was kind of cool. And then you see the CGI on the animals, specifically the animals that appear in the climax, and it just doesn't work and clearly needed more time to be rendered properly. And I'm not quite sure why they put this very unfinished effects into this film. It doesn't work at all. Um, the music is really good and is kind of one of the standouts of this film and really elevate a lot of the scenes and honestly are probably the unsung hero. At the end of the day, Whitebird is a good film. I relatively enjoyed it. There's nothing here that I really groaned at. Like I said, the climax is a little bit contrived, and again, the film acknowledges this. I don't think it bothered me too much at the moment, and I really can't bring myself to hate this movie at all. I definitely see the flaws, but a flawed movie does not necessarily equal a bad movie. So I'm going to give Whitebird a 6 out of 10. Now, if you're looking for a lot of Wonder connection here, you're not going to get it. Your best bet is just to watch Wonder again. Like I said, the Wonder connection is really the weakest part of the movie, and doesn't really add anything at all. And I really feel like they could have done without it. But that's my opinion on Whitebird. What do you think about it if you've seen it? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.